to Pick Central. Good Friday edition. Myself, Big Ev. Behind the glass, we got two. I don't know if the third guy's hurting, but we got you hurting? Okay, 2.5 guys hurting. No pun intended. TJ and Saab behind the glass on a Good Friday. The place looks like fucking a bomb went off. 4 coolers, pop chips, pretzel chips.
Shout out Revitalight.
Shout out them. I got some kind of like
the box
Olympic medal like box. Yeah, I know. It's
got a little remnants
wild.
Of some confetti on the ground. And it looks. I think I see there's a cigarette butt there. I see a burnt match.
I don't know why it says happy birthday. It smells like beer.
TJ, is it your birthday?
Case race was for Sass's 21st.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Which was 2 weeks ago.
Nice. The Orca coolers look sick. I'm sure the water. I hope the water's been drained out.
They did it. I mean,
that could stink.
I'm sure we'll see. Like all things probably considered, I feel like they did a decent.
They
job.
did a pretty good job. No, it's.
I can't imagine what it looked like around midnight last.
Yeah. That's the story of the day. 1 o'clock. I heard it's a 4-hour episode. Correct.
Yep.
Case race, chaos. I hope Dana puts up a fight.
I'm excited to see because I haven't asked. I don't want to be spoiled. I'll watch it when I get home later. But I said my money was on the booth. That's TJ, Za, and Stephen Che. There is a clip I saw. Stephen Che took a pretty bad tumble.
Yes.
That could have seriously affected his drinking moving past that point. If it was me, it certainly would have. Yeah, or helped potentially. Yeah, that was some spill.
Yeah,
that was a brutal fall. I started thinking because I just put myself. I was like, if I fell, I don't know if I would have gotten up.
Yeah, there's something around this time of year. So like this weekend would have been, it's Easter, but it fucked up. Spring weekend is. I'm not that guy like, oh, I miss college. I miss college like 2 to 3 times a year because I've been gone 3 times as long as I was in it. When you start adding up the math.
There you go. Wow.
You know what I mean? Not 3 times. Yeah. What's 12 plus 09? 21? Yeah,
you're
3
there,
times
you're
as
there,
long.
Yeah, you're there.
3 times as long as I was in it, right? You miss it at Christmas because you like had 2 nickels to rub together, and everybody kind of came together, and it was just a week-long like avoid finals party. And I miss it at spring weekend, and obviously homecoming. That's really the only 3 where I'm like, and it works out because it's like, all right, beginning of the year, like going back, Christmas, like right before, then you don't really miss it at all, and then spring weekend you start to like, oh, it's nice out, you know.
Yes, like there's like Ohio State. There's a spring game on Saturday. That's always like a good weekend.
Yeah. Oh,
I guess from a big school
like
like
it around spring weekend.
Like
just
just
game.
The weekend of the spring game is always like a big weekend. Like
I'm sure you had like
a lot of alumni come to town. Just a big like party weekend.
You had like major concerts too, right? Like we had nobody.
So see, I don't know if we'd usually do it at the same time. Like for us, like our spring concert the one year was like Ray Shrummer and like ASAP Ferg, which is like.
Yeah.
All right, that was huge. Especially at the time, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. That was like, they were huge. So that was awesome. I remember ASAP Ferg came out in the JT Barrett jersey. It was awesome, like right in the parking lot of the stadium. They usually would do those different weekends because it would be like too much at once. Because the like spring game comes, we literally put 100,000 in the stadium.
I know, yeah,
spring game.
crazy.
So it's like we don't have enough room for all the alumni and like a big event like that. But it's always like spring game weekend's always a huge weekend.
Yeah, it just seemed like public safety was a little more lax. Like as long as you covered it up, you know, even like in a clear bottle, it was like obviously alcohol, but they didn't really care. I did have a buddy though who rolled an ankle, playing on a fucking 8-foot hoop in our backyard off campus, and was in a boot. And like bumming Percocets throughout the week and drinking for the week. So it was a wild, like spring weekend always, obviously, you know, shouldn't do that. But it was, spring weekend always kind of, I think that's a moneymaker. What if we get Sammy Adams, some guys now, and just have spring weekend in Central Park? Like, could we fill that out?
Do like
an outdoor, Barstool presents spring weekend. It's an outdoor concert.
Like for post-college kids. I mean, there's so many.
Right?
Do it in fucking Murray Hill.
Yeah, I mean, no, just like Central Park. Do it outside.
Get everybody. All right.
Yeah, it's nice. We have, the high noon tents. Coors Light is a friend of the program, sure. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not opposed.
Nice weekend. Who's not showing up for that?
It's a big brain idea on Good Friday.
That's what I'm here to bring. Zah, get behind that. All right.
I'll make some phone calls and start figuring some shit out.
All right. So Jeff D'Lo is going to join us in about 15 minutes. Shout out to Hit Parade.
Two for two, 2-0.
Meaningless, very meaningful hit by Ozuna.
Right
up the gap.
The truest form of gambling is landing your bet around 11:30 p.m. focusing on a West Coast 12-1 game on ESPN Plus and just praying that somebody got on base that inning so Ozuna could come to the plate.
Yep.
Albies hits a leadoff homer, so you're like, all right, like we're getting it.
We're good. We're good. Yeah, because a homer is even better because it avoids the
you get
double play
exactly.
also.
It was guaranteed. You were guaranteed.
Yeah.
Ozuna
Avoid the
at bat.
double play. That's huge.
And I thought I jinxed this a little bit in the group chat because I was like, all right, he's gonna get like 3 more bats. He was lucky to get 2.
Yep.
They just got no hits after.
Yeah,
that.
Harper got his, which was big. Obviously, Suzuki
Early.
We said it. We knew what he was doing, but they all actually only got 1 hit, which is crazy.
Since it's Suzuki,
I knew we thought he was going to get more.
I bet
the way
the
that game was
Cubs,
going.
but I wasn't even like I stopped even looking at the box score.
Yeah. No, it worked. I mean, it's crazy. It worked out. It's fun.
Back Tuesday.
But we needed it too because you add the plus to everything. I think we all got swept. I know Carl's over it.
I had the Cubs, so
Yeah.
I went like 1-1.
Oh, okay,
I
you had the Cubs.
I went 1-1 and then hit on that. So.
Cardinals didn't even show up. Phillies lost close. I got the wrong read on the Phillies, so that parlay helps you out, obviously, to turn it to a profit.
Today's Mets opening day.
Yes.
Home opener.
Have you heard
Their
what's going
thing
on?
is they always win the home opener, correct? That's the thing, right? With the Mets.
I think
Don't
they
like,
always win opening day, but
That's what I'm-
home openers, I'm sure, is a great record as well.
Okay.
It's
I thought it was like
I think it's both. I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I think it's great, but I think they're battling the virus.
so. I saw
What I'm
that.
saying.
Well, I saw that, but I saw their starting lineup looked pretty normal. Besides, like Janikowski was in the outfield, but
Yeah.
so pretty much I think just Nimmo out of like the kind of normal starting 9 got
Right.
affected. I believe. So I mean,
Yeah, they should be fine. I mean, the Diamondbacks is a team you can't.
I mean, the Diamondbacks is one like just on paper, they're one of the worst teams I can remember assembled in like years.
I got a call a couple of days ago. My buddy goes to Scottsdale for a bachelor party, and they were there. And he also said, I was like, you get in the pool. He's like, no, the entire right field should be a pool. Olympic-sized swimming pool. Get more people in that pool. They booked the reservations. It's too...
Yeah, see, I don't know how
People want to go to the pool.
I've never been to Arizona. I don't know how.
Neither have I.
I don't know how it would go like over there. But I mean, they did that in Jacksonville. I don't know how well that's worked out. Like with the Jaguars.
Yeah.
What baseball team used to have it? Was it the Marlins or who used to have a? Somebody I thought in the outfield used to have a pool. I feel like I can remember like on sports.
Arizona.
They did used to have a
Arizona.
pool.
They still do.
Oh, they do still have the pool.
The Rays
He's saying
have the
make
Ray
it
pool,
a-
but they took the Rays out.
That's right.
Right.
That's
He's saying it's a small pool. It's like exclusive, like bottle service. He's saying
He's saying make it huge.
make it Olympic-sized
Like a-
swimming
like a
pool.
community
everyone's
pool.
going to want to go to that. What's the fucking difference?
Community pool.
He's like, dude, they stink. He goes, the Diamondbacks. I mean, it's not breaking news. He's
when you like,
"Diamondbacks
it's
are
like there have
horrible."
been some bad teams over the year. Teams that tank, like they look like a team that's like post trade deadline. Like they're like just horrendous.
Yeah.
They don't have anyone that pops out at you like, oh, that's it. Like maybe like Ketel Marte, like it's like literally probably their best player, their best position player.
Let me see if I can get
It's really bad when you just look at the line. I was looking this morning because I kind of wanted to fade the Mets, and I was looking at their lineup. I'm like, oh my god, the Diamondbacks are terrible.
Yeah. So we can't. For whatever reason, I don't know if he's an opener or what. Stripling for the Toronto Blue
I
Jays.
mean, the game's not till that game's not till 7.
All right, fine. I'm telling you right now, I'm going against the A's until they figure it out and I start to lose 3 in a row. A's strikeouts over. Every game, it's 8 innings. Now, I know that depends on – it's not always a starter, but the starter yesterday got 10 outs, 6 of them strikeouts. This A's team can win and is pesky, but when they get
strike out a
out,
lot.
they don't put the ball in play. So take those over on the strikeouts. I think there's a ton of value in that, especially low numbers. I'm looking at Stripling. It's probably my best bet of the day. I'll be honest.
All right.
We've started to figure that out. 2 games tonight in the NBA. Clippers, Pelicans.
Yeah.
Clippers laying 4.
4.
Did I see? All right, and the Hawks laying 2.
Yep.
I love the Hawks.
In Cleveland.
I love the Hawks.
I'm like I did all week. I'm randomly having some pause like last night, this morning, just out of like how easy it looks. Like I'm curious to see like how I can't imagine that the world's not on the Atlanta Hawks. That doesn't mean they won't win. But I was just thinking about the more and more I thought about it the last like 24 hours as opposed to last week. I was like, kind of everybody's on the Hawks, literally everyone. And I get it because they're hot. I said it yesterday, like they're kind of been the team the last couple of years. Like they've played well in the playoffs and like big games like this. They were like last year they make it to the conference finals. Out there, they were the 4 or 5 seed game. I don't know. It's a tough. Also,
Listen, the Cavs are going to fight.
Jared
Cavs
Allen
are at home.
Jared Allen also is going to give it a try.
Okay.
Which if he has like any remnants of like being decent, like if he's even like 70-80%, that's huge for them.
Yeah.
'Cause they need that size. Like him and Mobley are just massive in the middle.
I just think I don't know. I think Atlanta knows what it's like to be there. the Cavs, maybe this is a successful season, and this is like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, like
I think Atlanta pulls it out. I really do.
I still probably lean like Hawks right at this moment. I haven't made like official play. I think I am gonna play the Pelicans for sure. I like the Pelicans. I just think they're just in that right mindset right now. I just like the Clippers. I don't know. You blow that game to the Timberwolves.
Right.
They were literally winning like 90% of the game. They end up losing in the end. And the Pelicans are just hot. Like basically since they've gotten McCollum, they've been hot.
Yeah.
And he's been a gamer too. I mean, he's played great. Like Ingram's played really well. Like all their role guys, like Herb Jones and these guys are playing well. So I like the Pelicans catching 4. I think they got a good chance to win.
Yeah, I mean, even without, Zion, they're a fun team. It seems like they're doing things the right way. And the little you watch and like.
Also, do you see the video of Zion just 360?
Yeah, he's an interesting kid.
That always rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if you're just like jogging, doing a little, whatever, like dribbling up and down, taking some jump shots. But I mean, you're doing 360 dunks. You can't play. What more? Like, what are you gonna do in a game that would take like more whatever? Like, I get the stamina aspect, but in terms of like pure explosiveness or like cutting or whatever on like one specific play, what can you need more than that?
And it's weird that nobody really aired him out. Like his teammates aren't airing him out. Like
I don't know. I don't. It's
just a weird.
It's confusing. It's just very confusing.
I don't know. You should hold guys accountable for that. Like,
but it's just. I feel like now it's like no one really knows what.
Especially he's young. He hasn't done anything in the league. I get it. He's a superstar, but like, I don't know. Maybe lean on him and be like, hey, young fella, this is not how we do it.
I just think no one really knows what's going on.
Right.
Like I think the general public doesn't really know. What's really like. I know he was like hurt. I guess. Also, he was like obviously they gave him some shit about putting on some weight, but I mean I don't think that would keep him off the court. Like just putting on weight. Like I mean the guy's doing 360 dunks.
It hurts his stamina, but you're right. But I mean he could play at a heavier. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get really what's going on with him. It's just a weird situation. But I mean, they're making all the right moves without him. So,
right.
We'll see. Like moving forward, like Mincy said it before, and I agree with him. Like when you're a team like that, like making a move for a guy like McCollum is big because you're probably not going to go out and just hunt a bunch of guys down in free agency.
Yeah, I mean McCollum's a pro.
That's what I'm saying. You're getting a legit like an all-star caliber guard that's going to give you 25 a night. Go sign a big extension with you and stay with you. Him and Ingram. Hopefully you get Zion. You got a real core to build around.
Looking at tomorrow for the NBA, Utah laying 5 on the road against Dallas. Memphis hosting Minnesota -6.5. Philly -4.5. Toronto hosting Toronto over 216. I know Mark and Philly already locked that in.
What's the line in Toronto Sixers? What's the line?
4.5.
Toronto's Philly's favored by 4.
Laying 4.5. Golden State laying 6.5 against Denver. 223 in the total.
The one that stuck out to me was the Grizzlies laying 6.5. Because I feel like the Timberwolves are going to be sexy after that game.
Okay.
That one just stuck out.
You think everybody's going to be on
maybe just because
Timberwolves and you'll zag a little bit, or are you backing them?
I think backing the Grizzlies because the number just seems high, given how high like the general consensus is on the Timberwolves at this very moment. Like you just win a big like. I'm just so big on like kind of like when you have a standalone game like that where like everyone, if you're a fan, like you watched it and people get on the, like people either jump on teams like that or jump off like you look bad. That's also another reason why now I'm kind of questioning myself with the Clippers because it's kind of the same thing to reverse with them. But they just saw them play so well, have this big emotional win. Everyone's kind of behind them. Like you got like Pat Beverly, all these guys, and then they're catching 6.5 on the road. The Grizzlies are just really fucking good. So that might be a spot I try to lay with the Grizzlies.
All right. Sunday is obviously a Nets Celtics. Celtics laying 4.5, 224.5 on the over, and the Bucks laying 9.5 to the Bulls. I know Dan's super down on the Bulls.
Bucks.
In a rout, right? Sweep. Especially if a lot of them are close.
Maybe 5. I think sweep.
9. What about the 9.5?
Lay it. They're
I agree
they're so. The Bulls have been the team this year. They kind of been. I'm not like trying to.
The Bulls were flirting with the 1, right? So regressing like this to the playoffs. From the little I know about the NBA, just following highlights, Bulls not performing well. Bucks gearing back up for another championship run. Like
also the Bulls
seems like a blowout.
The Bulls have kind of been the fool's gold team a little bit, where they beat up on bad teams every time they play good teams. They get beat up, and I'd say that the Bucks are the best team in my opinion in the East. They just played them like recently. I think they were even on. It was in Chicago. And they beat them, but they just smoked them. I think, like I said, I think this is a 4, maybe 5, probably 4 game series.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the NBA is very predictable as far as the playoffs.
The Bucks are. I mean, I just think they're a wagon right now.
Yeah,
They're like a team like the Bulls. The Bulls aren't ready for that.
what's Golden State's health status?
Curry's back.
Okay, Clay,
Clay's there. Like I think with Curry back, they're pretty much like they're healthy.
for
the most part.
Draymond ready to go? He's still out.
No, he's playing. I
He's
think
back too?
I think so. Yeah. Like I mean, I think he has been.
All right, so Warriors at full strength. I mean,
Because right now, I'm pretty sure they're the number 3 or 4 betting favorite. I think to win it all. So I mean,
yeah,
they're
just
right there.
meshed well together. Yeah, like hasn't somebody been hurt at all times of the year, pretty much?
Kinda.
Right.
Like, obviously, Clay took a while to come back. Now, like Curry's been hurt a little bit at the end of the year. I think Draymond missed a little time, but I mean, I think they're kind of all healthy. Like Curry's just got back, so I think they're pretty much healthy now.
I like Curry, right? A lot. Like I think he's done wonder. Well, I mean, people could say negative for the game, but I think he's one of the 5 most impactful
Legend.
players in the game as far as how he's changed the game. You could say it's not just him. I think it is him who started it. They eliminated the center position pretty much, right?
I
got you. That style really.
I wouldn't say like eliminated it. Like look at Embiid.
Took a major knock to it though. Teams aren't building around centers.
Well, no, I mean it's more you got to spread the floor. You got to be able
Right.
to shoot. A big man that can't shoot, I think, is now pretty much non-existent.
Right. But now you look
Or
at
you're going to
his-
play like limited minutes in certain situations.
I started to look like you think about it. They're probably not going to, or a little bit of a stretch this year to win it. Phoenix, it seems like it's going to win the West. They might not even get to the West.
You're saying you think it's a stretch for the Warriors?
A little.
So
I
we're
mean, they're
doing
not the
West?
favorite. Let's just put
No,
it
no,
that
no,
way.
it's
They're
not
not
the
the favorite.
favorite.
So they would need to overachieve to get there. But you start to look at Curry's career, right? And I love him, obviously, like I said. But he won 2 with Durant, correct? Championships?
Yes, and one without him.
Okay, one. That's what I'm saying. So 1 without him, he gets the 2 with Durant. Now, which one was the one where Draymond completely fucked him and blew his mind in game?
That was the one.
5?
That was the one they lost.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They didn't have Durant, right?
No, and they lost.
All right, yeah. I guess
They-
you just
they blew
start to look at
They
like
blew the 3-1 lead.
I love Curry, and you talk about that dynasty, but I think revision, like maybe we look at it with a finer comb. He's only won 1 without him. He needed Durant to get there for the 2.
but see, to say he even needed him, I don't know if he like. I think it's up for debate. Like I think they could have won without him.
Fair.
They did.
Yeah.
Like they did it. I don't think they win as easily or as convincingly.
I think the one that really sticks in his craw, like in 15 years, is going to be when Draymond lost his marbles and got suspended.
Well, see, I look at it even the other way, from the Cavs side, the one where JR got the offensive rebound, the free throw, and dribbled it out, thinking it was a tie game thinking they were up 1 when it was a tie game. Because that was game 1.
That changed.
That
whole
swung like the
series.
whole series.
What was that 17 or 18? I lose. They all run.
I think 18. I think that was 18. Because I think that was I think I just graduated college. I'm pretty sure it was 18.
Didn't they beat him in like Jeff will know? The one with which finals was the J.R. Smith rebound?
18. I said 18, right?
18, it was my
Game
first.
1 of
I
18.
said I remember because it was right. I remember.
They end up sweeping him, or they won in 5.
Like one of no, they swept him.
They swept him.
Well, I'd said that if he goes up,
You're
with
right,
I think
it changes it.
the whole thing.
Changes it.
Yeah, they lose in 5. That team was not that good. The 2017 Cavs finals team was the best Cavs team I've ever seen in my life, but they played KD. That team was better than the 2016 team.
That's fair.
With Corver, that team was so fucking good.
Yeah.
But they could have. That series would have been 2-1, but KD hit that crazy shot in Cleveland at the comeback, and then they won that wacky next game. Where they had almost like 80 points at half or some shit like that. Yeah, those.
All right, we got an
Hope
exercise.
they win tonight. I'm
TJ, do we have any
excited.
ads?
No.
No. All right, perfect. Ev, let's do the picks now. We have Jeff Delo's brain, which is always wacky. So we'll explain what we're doing in a
Forgot
second.
how unflattering shorts are in these chairs.
Oh yeah.
They're bird
I don't
dogs,
wear
though.
shorts.
It's legs right now.
Maybe
Get
one
some
day I'll
sun.
wear shorts. We'll see. Mets -1.5. Hawks -2. I'm waiting for the line. Stripling strikeouts over. This A's team strikes out left and right. Take it. Guardians +128. TJ, you have the graphic up. Can you put up my parlay? You didn't do it?
Oh, I thought that was just a joke between us.
I mean, it's all good. I do have Jesus to die today, but rise Sunday +600.
Okay.
I want a line on that, Westy.
Okay. All right.
All God.
At some point today, check your Twitter
Yeah,
feed. I think the guy's gonna get nailed in.
I gotta tweet that we're doing this now.
Ev, what do you got?
So I got a 2 o'clock start. I got Twins, Red Sox over 9.5. I'm on the Tigers money line today with Scooble on the mound at Kansas City. I'm back on the Cardinals.
This guy is the best back-to-back guy in the business.
I'm back on the Cardinals again. I'm loyal to this team. They're gonna win today, plus 130, and I got the Pelicans tonight, plus 4.
Gotta pick the Pelicans.
Momentum.
Just going?
Mincy, is he going?
He might.
Why are
be.
you saying
I don't
gotta
know.
pick him?
Do they? And I actually
Last I
don't.
checked, he was in.
This is a weird thing that I would typically know and I don't know. Is it actually called the Blender Smoothie King Center?
It should be.
Should be.
Or is that just like a Mincy, like he's starting that trend?
I would think that
Should be
it's a
called the
thing.
Blender.
I would think that it's a thing if
Makes
he's
sense.
saying that. I would think.
There's marketing all over that. Put him in the blender. We put their team in the blender.
Blender. That's a great fucking.
Ever have Smoothie King
Great
before?
name.
No.
Stinks. Bad. I don't like Smoothie King. I'm a Jamba guy, which I actually got. I went into the depths of Penn Station for a Jamba Juice this morning because I was out late. I was like a little hurting this morning. I'm like, let me get a Orange Dream. Horrible. Awful. It was such a disappointment because Jamba Juice is like 99 out of 100 times delicious. It was disappointing. So no smoothies for me today.
Yeah.
Real shame.
I don't know. I've never had Jamba Juice.
That's pretty good.
I do know there was one in my neighborhood. They ran out this guy. He used to They used to cook the eggs by himself. In the local thing, you don't catch that reference? When the girl in Sopranos put the Jamba Juice in the neighborhood, and they ran the guy out.
What do you mean? Oh, yes. My bad. He
She was
buys
shooting
yeah,
up with Christopher. Yeah,
whatever
he
person.
buys.
yeah,
he
yeah,
runs the
yeah.
guy out. Is what it is. All right, Jeff.
Newark.
I gotta tweet.
So we are doing. Yesterday, you kind of randomly were like, "Hey, let's have some fun with it." We are doing.
Oh,
One
wow. Breaking. Paul George out tonight.
Well, that changes things.
Crowd to get very nice to get plus 4. I can't imagine the line's still that now.
Oh, that's gonna move quick.
L's -1 now.
Well, you can't believe this guy.
That's CLV.
Can we get another source?
Little CLV for my industry folks.
Can we get another source? Got it. All right, now I believe it. Thank you.
Never believe Woj with LeBron. Just
I don't
remember
believe
that.
Woj at all.
But I'm just specifically with LeBron. Never believe Woj.
No, Windhorse is his guy.
No.
Not anymore.
Windhurst has never had a LeBron scoop.
I thought his mom taught him like algebra.
Windhurst never had a LeBron scoop.
All right, whatever. I know he's this guy. They
Windhurst
would torture.
never had a LeBron.
They always had Windhorse.
He literally, wasn't he? He was basically
He was
wrote
a
for
very good Cleveland Plain Dealer writer.
like the Akron Journal.
Right,
Like,
he went
started with him.
to St. Vincent St. Mary. He was a good writer. The second he went to Miami, that man, and he didn't have the scoop on in Miami. He never had the scoop on him coming back. He never had a scoop ever. I like Windhurst.
I mean, just
never had a
I
scoop.
mean, look at Wendy. Like, you think that's the guy that LeBron's confiding in?
Right.
Like, that's his that's the guy that he's like trusts. Like, they're like buddy.
No.
He made a joke. I think there's a joke. He's like, oh, I heard your footsteps from a mile away or something. He was like, Windhurst was like creeping up behind him a couple years ago in like Miami, and like he was like getting ready to leave or something.
You know who's had some great
Tell him anything.
lines about that? Like the
Ricochet
press
shot.
room is
Direct shot.
Isola. Isola one time I was in the media room for something. I got credentialed for a Knick game. And there was an intern sitting there. And the kid, there was nowhere to sit, and he sits next to Isola. And Isola goes, "Man, you guys fucking track me everywhere." Because the Garden hated Isola. He was convinced the Garden hated Isola. If you're familiar back in like the day when he was killing him for, it's a Dolan type of thing, whatever.
yeah.
But Isola was very funny with that. All right, so Jeff said, let's have some fun. One-hit wonders. Guys who had a moment or like a year, like a season. How far do you want to go?
I would say it's like, see, the way I thought of it was like, I think a season, like a full season might be a little much, but I'd say like even like I think one tournament run would count, or like maybe one postseason or one big game.
Well, like one season though, like out of your bird, and then you are nothing before and after.
Well,
I kind of think of a
my
one-hit
thought,
wonder
my,
as
my
well.
more thought of it is like you are known for this thing.
So there's a couple. So here, if you this is how I did the tiers. It's not straight S through A, B, C, D, F, or whatever. Wait, did I send it to you, TJ? Oh, I did. Okay, there it is. Do presentation mode. It's always a little sexier. I think it's below the actual tier. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so they're listed alphabetically. So we'll just go through it alphabetically. But the tiers are ultimate. So like But so the ultimate, we can each pick one guy for the ultimate tier.
Okay.
There'll be 3 guys.
So ultimate, like one. That's it.
Our ultimate one-hit wonder.
All right.
There's iconic, so great, just misses though. There's memorable. There's who gives a shit, which there's a couple who gives a shits on here.
So like knowing the name.
And then if we don't think they're a one-hit wonder, we probably miss some. There's no hockey players on here. Just a heads up, no hockey players. But there's some notable people. Start out Aaron Boone. So I did a tweet yesterday, and I took anyone who was tweeted about multiple times. I tried to put on here. Aaron Boone was suggested by a bunch of people.
So that because I do think he counts him just becoming the Yankees manager. Kind of like if he never became the Yankees manager,
I agree.
I think he's like borderline iconic.
How long was his career?
Boone here, and I'll
With the
It was,
Yankees?
it was pretty.
No, like in general.
Oh, I don't know. He only played like 40 games with the Yankees.
How long did his MLB career though?
That's a crazy stat that I like. I feel like people don't remember.
13 seasons.
I mean, he was-
That's a little difficult.
But he was-
You know how hard it is to go 13 years in the
But he was
NBA?
pretty average.
Yeah, but he never got caught. He never 13 years in the bigs. Still found a way.
I would throw him up on. I don't
say
think
not
he is.
hit.
I think he's not a one hit.
I'd say not.
I think he's known for that. Home
known for
run.
that. moment,
I think him becoming the Yankees manager makes him basically not a one hit now.
I'm pulling up his page. I'm like
I agree.
I go, he's still playing. It's his manager page.
Can you slide?
I think
How does this work? Do we slide the guys?
You drag him up. He drags him up, drops him on the tier.
Got it.
Yes,
That's
I think
unbelievable.
that's fair.
Adam Morrison. See, Adam Morrison is. Adam Morrison had such a great career.
That's what I was. He had a couple good years in college.
Adam Morrison was suggested a couple times. I would
won
say
an NBA championship, but
I don't know. Can you count that though?
Yeah, he was like
in
a.
terms
he
of
won 2, right?
yeah.
He didn't even play.
I'd say he's iconic. It's not ultimate. What?
You think he's an like he is a one hit.
Everyone knows that crying thing.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
I would say.
I think a one hit wonder can be known for a season too. There's a couple on here for a season. Like I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would say memorable at best.
Oh, see, I would say iconic.
That crying thing, man. Everybody talks. He says he still
The
talks
cover of a
about it.
video game.
Yeah, we met him like
Because then he went from like greatest basketball player in the country on the collegiate level to irrelevance.
right.
Though he was drafted very high by the Bobcats.
Yeah,
Three.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think.
I mean, if I get outvoted, that's fine.
I'm going more of like the moment as well too. Like that was an iconic moment. So
I would say iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I guess I vote memorable, but two against one.
can you do it like roulette? Can you like put them in between both?
What do you mean?
Like on the line?
Yeah. Oh, you're like.
Do we have roulette features on this?
A lot of the times people treat their tier lists on like a sliding scale. So like the further to the right is
Got
like
it,
the
yeah.
lower iconic,
All right,
higher memorable.
got it.
if that
Are
makes
you a split the number guy in the roulette table?
No.
I
like
have
that.
10 numbers. That's it.
Yeah, I don't like the not random.
2,
It's
5,
how I'm
6,
feeling.
12, 15, 21, 25, 28, 30, 35. Shout out to Glenny Balls. He gave me 2 and 30. Good numbers. I don't know why he gave me those. Oh, I think Lundqvist's 30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. What the
Red
what's the
19.
2?
I don't know
What's
why
the 2?
too.
What would a Glenny Balls 2 be?
I don't know. I think he thinks he hates Jeter, so he might as well get some fucking
Yeah,
enjoyment out of
maybe.
it.
Achilles Smith. He had played 11 fucking games at Oregon, right? Or 12 games. And then was top pick. Almost got drafted by the Browns instead of Couch. And then just nothing. Irrelevant. I know he's iconic, but he is a one-hit wonder.
This one's kind of escaping me.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
honestly-
really- I
I'll
don't-
s-
I don't
We could
have-
say actually Ryan Leach should probably be on here too.
Ryan Leaf. For me, a kid like Smith is. I'm just my knee jerk is like memorable / who cares.
See, but I disagree. That's to me. I'll go. Who cares on that? I
All right,
really
who
don't.
cares
He
for
didn't really go with me. But Ryan Leaf had the reason he got to the number 1 pick is he had a memorable college.
That's
career.
true. That's true.
So like that to me. Also,
But
yeah,
that's what you can say
I'm
about
going
Morrison
more-
too.
Yeah, but the thing you keep that I'm fixated on is like the moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so I'll always shade to that. All right.
Some of these are career. Some of
Yeah,
these are
he's like, who cares?
So Achilles Smith, throw on the who cares. Next one is like the definition of a moment.
Yes.
Ali Frokmanesh. Northern
Really putting
Iowa.
The last one.
Who cares for Achilles Smith? Northern Iowa. I mean, I don't know how. This is one of those weird, like, if you're a college basketball fan, you know him. Where, like, I think if you were like a sports fan, even if you weren't a college hoops fan, you would know Adam Morrison. Or like someone who's a sports fan, maybe not like a diehard hoops fan. Like, are they going to remember Ali Frok? I mean, we do.
Yeah, I mean, I text the guy. Works at Colorado State.
No, you gonna put him
He's
ultimate then?
Maybe
No, I'm not.
Maybe a memorable.
I'm not. I have to be honest to the tiers.
I would say remember if his name was Mike Smith, nobody would remember him.
Here's the yes. The name
name is so
definitely
important.
helps him.
The name is huge.
Here's the thing for me: the longer the tournament goes, the more Ali Farouk there are, and he starts to fold. If that makes sense. Like now, everybody knows Doug Eddard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Loyola and Sister Jean. Like the line gets longer and longer and longer for you to go, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. But when you see the moment, you'll always remember it where you were. I know where I was. I was listening in the car. My cousin got married. So I had to watch the highlights like after on Twitter. This is memorable for me.
All time. Why did you shoot that shot too? That's
With
the best part about
all
it.
time, like drop your nuts on the table. Yeah,
Knocked off Kansas, and then I think they lost to Michigan State in the next round.
maybe. I don't know who they lost
I
to.
don't think they made the Elite Eight. Ooh, I actually don't remember that bracket. That's tough.
2000.
That was my
or
first,
11.
That was
Hold
my
on, hold
first year watching on just a TV because I was in college. I didn't
Was it
have
11?
the DirecTV package.
Or was it 10?
2010.
When?
It
10.
was the Duke year. Yeah, memorable. I think for
Memorable.
memorable. Next up, Armando Galarraga.
He got fucked.
See,
He did bad.
To me,
Dopey.
I think this is.
Joyce's
I think
bad
this is
call.
iconic.
Yes.
And my argument for that is, if the call doesn't happen, it's just a perfect game. It's remembered less.
Oh, for sure.
And him getting fucked is what makes it iconic.
It's arguably the least. I would argue it's the least memorable perfect game had he actually
Yes,
on the
agreed.
perfect. It was a
Agreed.
bad Indian. Yeah, it was a bad all around like.
Wasn't it a day game too?
No, I remember it being.
Oh, was it night?
I remember it being night because I can picture it.
All right.
like the scene and the call,
Oh, just a
and his just stare on the mound after the bad call.
He handled it well. I got to give the guy
He handled
credit.
it
He
great.
handled it
then
well.
Then they trotted Joyce out the next day with a lineup card.
that
It was
was
so
bad.
it was so dopey.
He deserved it. Though.
It's so lame.
I'd go
I felt
iconic.
bad for him. Yeah, I go iconic too.
Hold on one second. TJ, do we have the ability to take calls? Like, can you just put them in, or do I have to hit them up?
We can do it.
All right, no sweat. So, like, when we get through this, I'm open to having a ton of people just start saying names.
Yeah.
So are we
so that's
gonna
not to
rank,
rush
are we
people,
gonna do the rank thing with? Because I would put even that ahead of a Morrison.
I'd put him ahead of Morrison.
I agree with that.
I'd slide him ahead of Morrison. Next one I think is going to be one of your ultimate, Buster Douglas.
I think he has to be an ultimate.
Buster Douglas.
Because I think also in America we get lost too. Like boxing is so worldwide. Like I remember, even
That was also before boxing jumped the shark.
like
boxing was still
like
accessible.
Mike Tyson was the biggest star on planet Earth,
Yeah.
and he got knocked out as minus like a million.
No, it was
favorites.
45 to 1, right? Wasn't
And one
was this the
there
same
was
guy?
there was 42 was the highest.
42.
So you could literally 42 to 1 on Douglas at one point. If you watch the documentary, the 30 for 30, that was the highest it reached. And then like the smart gamblers bet it down because it was just such an egregious number. Like it's still a fist fight. But I mean,
He is ultimate. But I think Buster Douglas is.
he literally lost his next fight. I'm pretty sure.
He did. Well, there's another one on here. There's another one a boxer on here with the same exact thing. And the timetable is even shorter. Yeah, I think Buster Douglas is ultimate.
think
Oh, I
he's
got
ultimate.
one. Hold on. Who's the other boxer on here?
Leon Spinks.
Okay.
I mean, Spinks lost to Ali like a couple months later. Like gave it right back,
Yeah.
back, gone, like wiped it out.
So he's not a one-hit wonder. I don't want to but I'll always remember that Mayweather fight with Ricky Hatton. Where do we
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Dude, I was
Ricky Hatton, I think, was too good to be like a one.
Yeah.
Fine.
It was a legit
But
good box.
it's a moment for me because I was bombed at a Christmas ball. We talk about college Christmas. I couldn't lift my head to watch. If I keep going, who's winning? Who's
Forgot
winning?
about
Like,
that
bro,
fight.
It's right there. It's right. Zal likes that. Zal likes that.
forgot
story.
about
lift
that.
my head. I was so drunk.
I kept being like, yeah, it was. Plus, the party was like divided. We had like half guys rooting for Mayweather, half rooting for Hatton. So that was.
There's a couple baseball on here that are season things. Chris Davis is the next one. Chris Davis had a couple good years,
Yes.
but also
one-
what's he most? He's most. I mean, I still think of his strikeout streak. Was his
Yeah.
streak of no hits?
There was some. Yeah, it was crazy.
It's like hitless streak was
It was
insane.
like over, was it over 50 at bats or something?
It was
insane?
so bad.
I'm insane.
Would you? But where would you say he? Because he had a couple. He had two, I would say, really solid, maybe three solid. He had that one really.
The one he
good
had
year.
over 50 home runs the one year. Yeah.
What do you consider him? Do you consider him? Is he a who cares? I think he might be a who.
My knee jerk was who cares.
Where does he go there with? I feel like if we Aaron Boone, if we say not a one hit, we probably gotta say Chris Davis is too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I would say either not because I think he's not. I wouldn't even say memorable is the right word.
Definitely not memorable.
Who's the next guy up?
Throw him on the not hit. Throw him on the
Throw him
not one hit.
Oh, that's who it was?
Yeah, give a little credit to Chris Davis.
Couldn't see the logo.
Next up, no, this guy's one hit. I don't know if he's
Ultimate
memorable.
one hit.
Chris Matthews,
Yes.
the Seahawks receiver. He
Yeah,
had
that
like
huge game of the Super Bowl.
100 yards against
Literally,
the
he
Patriots.
might have 100 yards the whole season. He had 100 yards in the
And he was
Super Bowl.
immediately practice squad after that. And then I think he went to the Ravens. Massive one hit, but is he even like memorable?
Who cares?
I forgot about him
Yeah,
until
Yeah,
today.
it was so.
Chris
it was,
Matthews
it was
doesn't
such
help
a
his
short
case.
blip.
Chris Matthews doesn't help his case. I think he's who cares.
Because he has the same name as. Are you saying because he has the same name as Hardball with Chris?
Just in general, like it's not.
I like his-
He's not Ali Farouk
It's
Manesh.
Pro Football Reference page, like nickname Hardball. I'm like, no one called him. No one
Right,
called him
yeah.
Hardball. I didn't have a nickname. He had one game. Yeah, Chris Matthews throw on the who cares, but he definitely is a one hit wonder. Dice K. Dice K kind of like Dice K was like a mild like sensation, right? Am I like misremembering?
No, you're not. I don't think you're misremembering at all. I
Yeah.
almost like you want to see his stats, how long he was decent for, because he had a nice like little
It
run.
wasn't long. I looked today. Not a very long run.
That's tough.
I'm gonna put him as memorable because
Yeah,
if
just
on,
the
like on-
name.
Here's how
Name.
I'm gonna put memorable. In one of those Twitter accounts, it says on this day, or Barstool Sports tweets out like something like that, and it's Dice K. You'll immediately remember him,
It's
But you
the
don't-
name too.
right? But you don't like you're like, oh, I remember that, or I remember he was good, or whatever. But like you don't think about him here and there. But you do. You can never not forget him. Or like somebody in a bar. Like we're gonna get to Peyton Hillis, obvious. Like you can't forget about. Like that's memorable.
Would
But
you
do I
even say
think about
not-
him other than
You
when
would say
I
not one hit then?
uh.
He won a World
I don't know how
Series,
many
right?
Years he had.
Was he on the 2007 World Series roster or
Yes.
11? He was. Okay.
First player to win the World Baseball Classic and World Series.
I'm gonna put him.
World Baseball Classic. You want to talk about a
That's
I'll
done.
who cares?
That's done, right?
I'll vote
Are they
memorable.
bringing that back?
Put Dice Cam memorable then.
The World Baseball Classic still a thing?
I think COVID did can. I honestly don't know. I could be wrong on
It's
that.
every 4 years. I don't know when
That's
the
I
last
one of
have
the
a-
worst all-time things ever.
I have a World Baseball Classic T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Very
The hat
cool.
was pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people had the
That's
USA
cool.
hat.
Yeah.
4th of July.
There you go, Rico. Danny Almonte.
Ultimate.
Oh, Monet Davis probably should have been on here too.
Oh, well, no. She's going to be pitching in the Major League, so she's got plenty more moments to go.
I saw Almonte in person at the Bristol Little League Center because I was living in Connecticut
Yeah.
at the time, and I got to see him up close when they did for the Mid Atlantic Regional. Almonte is iconic.
Yeah, that's my
Iconic.
vote was going to be iconic. I mean,
Oh, no. I think he's ultimate.
You was he?
The world was enamored by him throwing
Yeah.
100. The world was enamored by that investigation. The games were on ABC.
Sports Illustrated did
He's a minority from the Bronx. Like the team, they were swaggy. They were cool before everyone knew what was going on. That's ultimate.
there is a 30.
He
for 30
never did
on it.
another thing.
Yeah, that's true. 30. Sports Illustrated had like a thing where they did like future Hall of Fame plaques, and there was like Jeter and A-Rod, and then one it was like Almonte.
Actually,
it was
He actually, at
hype
one
was
point,
huge.
I believe, played in like the Yankees' low farm system. I believe for a short period of
Yeah,
time.
he was in like Monroe High School.
He played like. I think he played like decently high level college baseball.
Probably.
Toss him. All right, TJ, toss him behind Buster Douglas.
Yeah. So here's the thing, real quick. I always tell this story. Everyone knows the age of Danny Almonte, right? South Shore Little League was trying to investigate. This team was being investigated twice. So where are you from? Cedar Park?
Cedar Park, Texas.
Cedar Park, Texas. The Cedar Park, Texas Little League All-Stars, right? You were on the Giants. I was on the Yankees. He was on the Mets. And you get picked. I get picked. He get picked. We put 12 guys from that Little League. What South Shore was investigating was, and it was true, was that Danny Almonte was living in the Dominican Republic till about June 14th, and then they flew him to the Bronx to participate on the All-Star team. He was never on, Belfiore
played for a Little League team. Yeah,
Belfiore
yeah.
meets Giants,
Got it.
and then played. So they were investigating that, and then obviously they knew about it. I have a kid's phone number. I still want to do a documentary on it. Kid's name is Zach. I don't have to give his full name. From Apopka, Florida Little League, the team that beat him.
Yeah.
I think that they kind of saved it because it'd be even worse. I say it all the time. The cheaters from Chicago. That you don't get to go back to 12 years old. It's a finite moment in time. They stole, and my brother's team. Sorry to wrap this up. My brother's team that he played against was he played for Mid Island. They played for South Shore. South Shore was so good they were whomping Mid Island. They brought their first base coach in. I'm still friends with the kid because they were going to mercy, and you had to get the kid a bat. He takes off his helmet, coaching first base, no practice swings, nothing. Puts one 40 feet over my brother's head. That's how good this team was. And then when we talked about it with him, we were like, how far did you get? He's like, we ran into Almonte. So, like, they never got to know what, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucked up.
Iconic, though.
No, Ultimate.
Ultimate.
What
He is
else did
iconic
that
as
kid do? And it's
incredible,
crazy.
though.
Yeah.
It was awesome for a while until we figured out what until you found out what
Al
happened.
Shore knew right away. They were trying to investigate him right away. So.
Danny Willett, 1 win, Masters. That's it.
Who cares?
Memorable / who cares?
I think
I don't reckon. I mean, I know.
I would
the
say
name,
who
but-
cares. I would say who cares.
Say who cares?
He's a who cares. All right, Danny Willett, TJ, throw him up on the who cares. Next up is so you guys talked about this one yesterday. I don't know. I don't think he's a one hit, but some people suggested him. David Freese.
My argument for the one hit was that even though he had like a little career, I feel like people only remember him for like that one World Series,
Going off.
3 home run game. He wins MVP of the World Series, and then kind of he was whatever pretty much. Other than that,
I would say iconic for him. He's like that was an iconic postseason.
it was an iconic series for sure.
But in the grand scheme of one-hit wonders, how many people do you think recognize David Freese?
I think
Like what-
baseball. I think baseball fans. I mean,
All right, I'll give him that. Fine.
I think if he is though,
I would have put him memorable regardless. Like you're scrolling the list of World Series MVPs.
I'm not
you
even
go,
sure
David
he is,
Freese.
though.
Oh man, you pull up that YouTube clip, whatever. That's so you think it's either iconic or not a one-hit wonder?
yeah.
I don't know.
I think I remember him being better than he really was though.
Yeah,
It's because
more
of that.
consistent.
Yeah,
yeah.
probably
Say
because
iconic.
of that.
All right, give him
TJ,
iconic.
Yeah, throw him up on iconic.
I'd say memorable,
Throw
iconic.
David
Split the
Freese.
line. It's fine.
Next one. I think this one goes in ultimate, but I'm going to have some debate on this one because I think someone else needs to replace him. David Tyree, the ultimate. Do you have to debate that?
Yeah, like I mean, I don't think there's anyone more remembered for like one play
Like,
than David Tyree.
that's it. Like that is the
It
ultimate.
actually is funny because I'm pretty sure he made a Pro Bowl or 2 as a special teamer. But that's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's remembered for one play.
There's-
and also he caught a touchdown in that Super Bowl as well, which I think people forget actually. But
There's another guy on the list coming up that's got to be debate on the. So the ultimate's like we only can put 3 up there. That should be the rule. Make it tough.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It should be. The ultimate needs to be like.
All right, I might.
well, that's why I even thought Almonte was like a slight like.
I would put Tyree in front.
All right, maybe I'll change.
I would put Tyree in front of Almonte.
Yeah, TJ, throw Tyree in front of Almonte. Yeah. Next one, Derek Anderson. Great 2007.
Honestly-
Almost 30 touchdowns.
I think he gets a who cares for me.
I
sorry,
think
I'm
he's
just
I'm
weak.
sorry,
No,
sorry, Jeff. I'm
Headline.
sorry.
He is, but he is a one-hit wonder. But I would say I would agree.
headlines.
He's the Danny Willett of football. Throw Derek Anderson on the who cares. He's a who. The next one's a who cares too.
Dexter Jackson.
Actually, Stephen Shea definitely would care. Dexter Jackson, Super Bowl MVP of the Buccaneers and Raiders.
2 interceptions.
Play for the Bengals, I think,
defense.
after this. Massive who cares.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, next two
He was a good
TJ
player.
right
He was
on
a
the
good
who
player,
cares.
but
How about this one, Mets fans? Andy Chavez.
I mean, he's iconic to me, but I get it. You can't he's
See, like,
ultimate.
I don't know his career at all. outside.
Dude, that moment is unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know his career. I know he did some time with the Mariners for a little bit. He was like okay with us. He's likable, but that catch, it's a little bit more. It helps a little bit more if they go on to win. But it's in Mets history. Like you can get like that's a high level. It's in the Mets store of like memorable moments, like autograph.
Yeah,
memorabilia,
I would agree with iconic. Or would you say memorable?
I was gonna say who cares.
That's a fucking
I'm
troll.
gonna be honest.
Put it
not even a Mets thing.
It's,
I'm just
it's
like
losing. You're right. It's as if I
I
wasn't
just
a
think
Met
it's like
fan.
it's so whatever.
Listen, if I wasn't a Met fan, it loses its luster because they did lose. Like, if I was trying to explain to you the story, like, hey, what ultimately happened? Well, they lost Game 7 of the NLCS.
You know what? Split the difference. Let's put him on memorable. Put Andy on memorable. Next up,
Hold on 1 second. TJ, do we have a hard stop at 1 or because of the yak? Oh, yeah, it's debuting, right?
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Fred X, Freddie Mitchell. Freddie Mitchell to me, I don't know. I'm obviously like NFL was always my biggest thing.
See,
So I
As a Giants fan and playing a lot, I almost was gonna say like not a one-hit wonder. Did he have more seasons?
oh my god, irrelevant.
Really?
His-
Was he that
his
after? Other than
Freddie
that?
Mitchell's stats are insane.
I don't know why I feel like I worried about him as a Giants fan.
If you would have asked me yesterday, Freddie Mitchell's career, I'd have said he played 10 seasons, made like a Pro Bowl or two.
that's
Not
that's what I was
not
thinking as
even-
well.
Not even close.
I was like, damn,
Freddie Mitchell played 4 seasons.
oh my god.
He played 01, 02, 03, 04. He caught 5 touchdowns in his career.
What?
I'm still not sure I have his action. Like, it's insane.
I'd give him memorable then, because you still.
He played for 4 seasons.
You're gonna remember the name though. Like I said,
Gotta be
scrolling
memorable,
through,
yeah.
memorable.
Wow.
90 balls in his career.
That's crazy.
Yeah, memorable for sure. I mean, the fourth down play is iconic. Like,
Yeah.
that's why
I might have thought he averaged that for like 4 seasons. For like a 4-season stretch.
I had no. Again, I thought
That's crazy.
that's like my real heyday of like Matt. Like, I found that I don't remember that he was that nothing.
You know, I feel like just over my time as a Giants fan, the Eagles had a few receivers like Jason Avance and like
Yeah,
guys like that who I just kind of like juggle them all into like the same person. That's
I couldn't believe it.
I'm gonna be thinking about that when I like lay in bed. I'm gonna
No.
be like Freddie Mitchell had 90 career catches, 5 touchdowns.
George Mason.
It's weird because it's a team to me. This is like a not. I'm not knocking you. Like, or it's I guess whatever.
Though I somebody did say too in one of their replies, they're like, and we never heard from them again. They made the tournament 2 years later. They lost a 12 seed to Notre Dame. Jim Larinaga made the lamest speech I've ever seen in my life. They aired it on CBS. He printed out a picture of the Fighting Irish logo and he like crumpled it up in his hand. It was so lame. It was so lame. But then they were a 9 seed or an 8 seed a few years later and they beat Nova and they lost to that really good Ohio State team that ended up losing to Kentucky the next round.
They
were
weird, though
good
because it's a team.
If you're
It's
just telling
a
me
team.
the 06, like if you're asking me 06 George Mason, I'm saying iconic.
Yeah, I think it's iconic.
They made the Final Four.
Because like VCU, I wouldn't say is a one-hit wonder because VCU,
Yeah.
like VCU, like built off that. And
All right.
like, yeah.
all right.
I throw George Mason on iconic.
Again, it's weird because it's the whole team. There's nobody on that team I remember, so it is what it is. But
Rod Smart, he hate me. He played in the NFL. He played a Super Bowl. He played
Yeah.
for the Panthers.
I think he was returning kicks.
I don't know why, but I have the program from that game. I got it at Bradley International Airport in Connecticut. I don't know why I don't care about either team. I have the program for that game, and he's in it.
iconic.
Iconic. It's
Yeah,
he hate me.
I agree.
mean, like,
Everybody knows he hates.
the XFL is that is
That's
the
it. It's
XFL.
all it is.
Holly Holm.
No idea.
She's an interesting one because she's had like obviously the moment is knocking out Ronda Rousey, but she's had like
That's what it is.
She's 4-5 since that fight.
it's weird 'cause she's still like active. That like division of women's MMA is weird. Like it's just very competitive. Like there's a lot of like I guess maybe I'm in it a little too deep, so I'll let you guys like justify what you think. That moment is like iconic, 100%.
Memorable.
Because at the time, Ronda Rousey was like the baddest woman on planet Earth. Like no one could touch her, no one could beat her, and then she gets dominated and then knocked out viciously.
I would say I would lean iconic, but I'll say memorable.
All right.
That's fair.
I would lean
That's
iconic
fair.
though, but we'll throw her memorable. Put Holly Holm there. Icky Woods.
Memorable.
Another career that I just forget. I think he was injured. Just a very short career of almost nothing.
Icky
I think it's
shuffle.
more just the icky shuffle.
Yeah, put Icky
Memorable.
memorable.
Speed throw.
Isaiah Thomas.
I say not one hit. I think he was good. I think his career was good enough.
I would agree.
Not one hit.
I get
agree.
that. Agree.
Obviously, the season that Celtic season was
Agree.
unreal, but
I think this is memorable, and this is the saddest one on the list because he's known for a stinky thing. Jean Van de Velde, the guy that blew the British Open, which actually the guy who won, Paul Laurie, is also a one-hit wonder, but so irrelevant, didn't even put him on the list. I would say Jean Van de Velde's memorable. He rolled his fucking pant leg up and he went into the
water. Yeah,
the water. What a doofus! What a fucking doofus! That's the stupidest.
People under your tweet yesterday,
Unbelievable.
people were sending that picture of him in the water.
What a
Oh my
fucking
God.
moron!
Tried to hit it out of the water.
Yeah, he didn't, but he thought about it. He rolled his pant leg. It was like,
Yeah.
He like approached the ball. It was
I didn't know that was the guy.
what a fucking.
All right. I mean, it's memorable. Who
He made
cares?
the Ryder Cup, but
You're gonna find a lot of people hard to get that name.
Yeah,
I'll
memorable.
remember the moment, but memorable.
memorable.
Yeah.
Jeremy Lynn's sanity was iconic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Captivated the Garden.
And I will know, Jeremy Lynn's has a very solid.
Respectable
Solid
career
career.
out of Harvard. It's hard to get into the NBA from Harvard. Give the guy credit. But without a doubt.
week, I remember like
It was like 2 weeks.
I remember I watched that Raptors game at an Applebee's in State
insane.
College. I was there with that. That was wild.
This man he went toe to toe with Kobe.
Yep.
Like it was fucking outrageous.
Nuts. Jimmer.
I mean, it's ultimate iconic.
Yeah,
I would say
for
iconic.
sure. Iconic for sure.
That run was
He
unreal.
literally changed like the Kobe to
Crazy,
like
though. It was
Jimmer.
only a run to
Yeah.
the Sweet 16, right?
Yeah, they lost to Florida.
But then it was that,
were
but then
3 seed.
the regular season the next year he was like, that's when he started shooting like 30-footers and all that.
Lost to Florida, who ended up losing to Butler. So yeah, throw Jimmer. I think Florida's a 7th seed that year. Kevin Pittsnoggle, iconic for Jimmer. Kevin Pittsnogle.
Memorable.
Which, by the way, he had a good second season as well. That's when they lost to Texas at the buzzer.
Oh, that's
in
the
Sweet
season
16.
I'm remembering.
No, the season before was the season they
the
made the
Elite
Elite
Eight?
Eight, where they blew the game against Louisville.
Yes.
In New
okay.
Mexico, yeah.
I
Huge
remember,
lead.
Yeah, I remember more. I guess I watched him more on the second run to Texas, which was an all-time NCAA tournament night. That was also
Another
Morrison.
name, though. If this
Morrison was a double. Like you were a little younger. The doubleheader was West Virginia, Texas, and UCLA Gonzaga back to back. It was unbelievable on a Thursday night in college.
2006 tournament was, people rip me because I said this year's tournament was incredibly it was just a mediocre tournament. 06 is like, unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy.
Tournament. Throw Pittsnogle memorable.
Yeah.
Chris Jenkins.
The shot is iconic.
Yeah, and I don't think he's gonna.
I
But
think
if
like,
his
it's
name
the
was Kevin Pittsnogle, it would be like a no-brainer. The name helps a lot there.
Because I mean that to me that's the biggest shot in the history of college basketball.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah, I don't have any
40-foot
debate on
buzzer
that.
beater to win the national title.
Yeah, iconic.
After the Marcus Page shot, which I think makes it even more iconic.
Iconic.
Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali, then immediately lost. Like, he beat Muhammad Ali.
Iconic. I guess.
Yeah, iconic / memorable probably.
I would say iconic. I feel like we have to because we're not, like, old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malcolm Butler. A lot of submissions on Malcolm Butler.
Memorable.
Because the iconic moment, but it has had a pretty decent career.
You almost remember more that they didn't run it than Malcolm Butler himself. And I know a lot of Patriots will disagree, obviously.
Wasn't he a Pro Bowler
After he was.
and he was involved? I'm gonna say not.
He signed a big contract.
Remember, he didn't play against the Eagles in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
Or he didn't.
Belichick cost him that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'd say not one hit. Weirdly, but
I would
that
say-
moment is iconic to me. It's a weird. I'd say not.
I would
one
say
hit.
not one hit because he got
Yeah.
some money, right?
A moment is like.
I think
yeah.
he signed a legit $60
Yeah.
million contract.
Next up, so yeah, I guess we got to speed through it. Malcolm Butler, not one hit. Well, at the bottom, yeah, we'll be nice to Malcolm Butler there. Mark Pryor. I thought Mark Pryor was the greatest pitcher of all time.
Early he was on him and Kerry Wood, unreal.
He was great on, but then he just, I know injuries played a huge factor.
How many good years did he really have?
Not many. It's not many.
Who cares?
Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, throw Mark. You know what? Fuck that.
I'm not getting worked up about Mark
Throw Mark Pryor on the
Matt
who
Pryor,
cares.
Mark Pryor.
Matt Flynn.
Memorable.
I even think he could be a who cares.
Could be a who
I
cares.
think he's a
too.
who cares too. Incredible, by the way.
I mean, it was
Good for
You
him.
know about him. He got himself that
One
contract.
game.
But it was literally in a meaningless Week 17 game.
That's Matt Flynn. Who cares? The next one, Michael Campbell. He won the U.S. only PGA Tour win, U.S. Open. I think Peyton Hillis should bump Almonte off the ultimate tier. Peyton Hillis is legendary.
Cover a Madden.
I don't
one
know.
Season.
Voted Peyton Hillis is such. That was.
When you talk about one hit, like that one season.
Which, by the way, people were like, sorry, Jeff, but Peyton. I'm like, why are you apologizing to me? Like,
It's definitely
I know
iconic.
Peyton Hillis is a one-hit wonder.
It's definitely iconic. Without a doubt.
You know what? I would agree.
Fine, give a fourth ultimate.
Yeah. No.
We'll see who bumps.
No, Almonte.
Make a poll.
All right. Yeah.
Because you could do 4, so that's fine. Who
Yeah.
should be bumped? Put that up.
Next up, that's Phil Umber, big time. Who cares? But Phil Umber, huge. He stunk. Oh my God, his ERA got up to the double digits, and he was just out of the league. Rich Beam, half the people that won the PGA Championship in the
cares?
2000s. You remember Rich Beam's? You're
Just showing how weird his brain is. Jeff, yeah.
Rich Beam.
Got his trading card.
Rich Beam is who cares. The last one on here is a golf, and he's not a who cares. We'll get to Ryan Merritt from remember the guy who filled in because Trevor Bauer cut his fucking finger off with the drone. I would say who cares for Ryan Merritt, but he stepped in and won that ALCS game for the Indians, and that was it. Who cares? Next one is Samkin Godot, the guy who I think that's how you say his name, the fucking Packers. Do you remember him?
No.
I don't
Big
even
dude.
remember him.
I throw him on the who cares. Packers fans remember him. He was fucking great for one season. I think he's a doctor now. Shane Spencer.
Funny story. My dad actually played golf with Shane Spencer once.
Oh, yeah?
Shane
It's
Spencer.
like some outing he got invited to.
It was his first month, right? He hit 10 he had 3 grand slams or something.
Thought he was going to be this monster power hitter. He just ended up being kind of like a whatever, utility.
Yeah,
hitter.
I'd say who cares, but
Yeah,
he's a one-hit wonder.
Can I
Funny.
quickly submit a
Yeah, let's do the last 4, then throw an honorary mention.
Jeffrey Mayer?
I'm just saying do the last 4.
That fat fuck never played anywhere.
Sean McKeel, another PGA Championship guy.
Fucking guy.
The PGA Championship breeds so many
get it.
irrelevant people.
Lunacy.
Next up, this is Timmy Smith is, dude, he rushed for 200 yards in the Super Bowl, and then that was it. I think that's got to at least be memorable. We were not old enough, obviously.
Which team?
Washington.
I'm having trouble with
Broncos.
the.
Yeah, Washington.
Well, what, 22?
You give it memorable. We would have.
Memorable for that. How about this name? Tyrone Prothro. He won like
I remember the
SB's
name.
best play. He like shattered his leg.
I remember that play. Yeah.
But this is he had the catch over the shoulder, or the Southern Miss.
Yeah.
Saw him at a bar in Alabama. Went to Penn State, Alabama. Penn State. Joe Pa was still coaching.
We're tight. I would say either memorable or who cares. Maybe memorable. It was such a massive play. I would.
I throw him on. I would throw him on. I throw him on memorable. Yeah, people, college football fans remember that play. Y.E. Yang, I think, is iconic. He beat Tiger Woods 1-on-1.
Yeah.
And Tiger fans.
And you talked about it yesterday. The call, the YES.
I don't know if
What year was this?
I forget the year.
Now,
The PGA. He went 1-on-1. He like he fist pumped in Tiger's
in his
face.
mouth.
Tiger
It
lost?
was crazy.
He had a crazy shot
like
over a
legit beat
tree.
him head to head.
Yeah, he shot over the tree, which not many, like some guys have had it. Rocco, Chris DeMarco went 1-on-1 with Tiger, but nobody really beat him. But yeah, Nance was like
Wait, he beat him
YES
in
or
a
YES.
full 18 playoff?
No, just
So
like
one
down
for
the
the
stretch.
tournament, but
US Open does the full 18,
no,
right?
he played. He was literally paired with him, like
Got it.
like last
Got it.
group, and like
All right,
Shot
that-
over the tree, sunk the birdie.
That
and
got
then-
lost in the shuffle.
And Jim Nance.
also the honorable mention,
Y.E.,
Jonas
yes.
Gray. Jonas Gray.
Yeah, Jonas Gray was
200 yards and then overslept and cut. never played
that.
again.
So yeah, that's.
Oh, that was good.
It was a solid list.
Yeah, we'll start bringing shit like that around holiday weekends. Maybe Memorial Day we'll get you back up.
Ah, sure.
All right, perfect. All right, that's Pick Central. An iconic, ultimate, memorable, not who cares, Yak is up next.
Wow.
Head to the Yak YouTube channel. Links in the chat.
Unreal.
Head to the Yak YouTube channel. Case race.
Boom. Yak YouTube channel for the case race. Oh. Get home, roll a spliff, and watch this extravaganza.